On your way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to fling it, I'm going to place it delicately.
Yes, please, please. We don't want to disturb the chocolate.
This one's also got an interesting top.
It's kind of like a Chinese takeaway box, but like the last fold in it. Yeah, okay, I got that. Okay, thanks. That was a good description. Okay, let's do this. It doesn't have nuts inside, just has nut flavor.
Yeah, that's the praline, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think you've got a talent for this because you've only got one wrong so far and there's 2 more to go. So I'm going to give you one with, well, I'll let you tell me the shape of this one. It's got a nice little shape on top.
Okay. Oh, what? Oh, this one's like really chewy. This almost has like a nougat inside, actually. Just got like a little bit of crunch. But I'm going to say this isn't Belgian just because there's a lot going on in this one. And I feel like they don't take those kind of shortcuts. They don't use those tricks, the Belgian people.
It's not Belgian. You're absolutely correct in this one.
Wow. Okay, this was tough. The alcohol one threw me for a loop, I would say, but I got it. After I figured out that that wasn't Belgian, boom, palate has been curated.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Got one more chance to impress me.
Oh, there's another.
There is one more.
This one has to have like a nut in it or something, because why would it be this big without a nut in it?
Can you guess the type of nut?
I think it's hazelnut. Yeah, hazelnut.
It looked like a hazelnut to me.
I'll say this, the chocolate quality was very good. I'm weighing 2 things. Belgian people don't seem to like to add too much stuff. They added a little hazelnut, but the chocolate quality was still very good. So I'm gonna say it was Belgian.
You may take off your mask.
Yes.
And I can tell you, Mary Snake.
Yeah.
You were absolutely correct. It was Belgian.
Oh my God, just one wrong?
5 out of 6 correct.
Oh
Congratulations.
Wow, I'm proud of myself.
And thank you so much for joining us on Is It
Appreciate
Belgian?
I appreciate it. My hand has a little chocolate on it.
We'll do a little fist bump. Thank you so much for joining me.
There we go.
And let's do it.
Some tasty treats for Mary Snake and another one for us up on our screens. It's going to be FaZe taking on ENCE in our next Best of One series of the day. A bit of a rematch of that EPL Grand Final where ENCE are hoping to claim revenge. But it is going to be a tall task because we're not necessarily saying there's any clear favourites coming into one of the most wide open majors in recent history. But FaZe are a name that you have to be putting up there, Maui.
FaZe are the first one you would put at the top of the list. You'd probably give them the worst odds if you're a bookmaker. You don't want everybody to just jump in on the FaZe train right there. But for good reason. FaZe have been playing fantastically for the last couple of months. Ever since this lineup has assembled, it looks like they took off the training wheels very quickly and were already competing for titles out the gates. And I really think that this matchup is one that they're going to be used to. They've played ENCE a couple of times now, and I think that FaZe have a beat on how this ENCE team likes to play. They've read them out.
It's a banger matchup. It's a banger matchup because we have 2 teams who are peaking at the moment. ENCE are coming in hot from the beginning of 2022. Of course, we talked about FaZe and the success that they had at the beginning of the year. And there is a lot of comparisons we can draw from these 2 teams, right? International rosters, Danish IGLs. But what's really impressive to me is that at name value, FaZe should eat ENCE alive. If you are just looking at the players and you think about the tenure and the experience they have in Counter-Strike, there shouldn't be a debate. But this is where we have to praise ENCE, because actually with the pieces they have made an extremely competitive lineup.
Oh, they're much greater than the sum of their parts, but the thing is that the FaZe parts are just so much better.
Yeah.
That's when you go name by name and compare every single role on both of these teams, there's not a single one where you would actually give ENCE the edge, and that's where things just get very tricky. Whereas Snappy has developed such a great style and structure that seems to work so well for his players, the players are just better on FaZe.
Yeah, it's that dangerous consistency which we were prefacing in our pre-show coming in today, number 1. Any particular name that you do want to throw out from the side of FaZe, though, that you're maybe
but I think he still has to shed the narrative that maybe the lineup was actually better with JKS. I think he proved a lot of doubters wrong by the end of ESL Pro League, but he's got to keep doing it. He's got to show that he actually earned this spot and needs to keep it with FaZe.
And talking about convincing, we have to see Brokey. We have to see Brokey shine. If he's able to put the same kind of performance that we have witnessed at the beginning of 2022, he grabbed his first MVP in Katowice. That just threw FaZe into a new dimension. Because Maui mentioned it as well in the pre-show, 2021, Brokey is top 20, but even some people debate his position in that ranking. Should he really be there? Hasn't exactly been consistent or too flashy. And then he pops off in Katowice in a way no one had ever seen coming. Now, if this is the new normal for FaZe, that's a scary, scary line.
Yeah, it's incredible to see him being elevated to that level as well. And particularly, we did preface it coming into the pre-show as well. The fact that the AWP battle in this, a little bit skew if you don't mind that terminology.
Brokey is one of the best players 2022 hard stop. Hades is a guy that, for the ENCE lineup, some people have drawn into question. Some of his stylistic choices, the way he likes to play back, but then can get iced out of a round via utility. Those sort of moments, you feel a lack of impact from Hades, and you need an opper to impose themselves. Even when Brokey plays his passive style, he has ways to get involved in rounds, whereas Hades, I feel like he's been thrown a lot of problems in the tier 1 space when top teams are using great strategies against him, and I don't think he's been able to solve all of them just yet.
You know, I agree with you, and I would definitely be on that train, but I was keeping my eyes on the stats from the matchup specifically between ENCE and FaZe. They've played twice during Pro League, of course, and I just come to realize Hades actually performed in both occasions. Quite brave. 1.10 rating and 1.14 rating, so it could be that stylistically speaking, he's not put into so much trouble as we are talking about, and the fact that Kerrigan wants to approach such a simple Counter-Strike at time maybe is what this man needs.
I do want to throw Spinx's name into the ring as well. Somebody that's been just absolutely hot shots throughout the challenger stage. He was coming into the set, you know, something unlocks for him coming onto LAN. Of course, we do hear that from a lot of players, but it was just so true for Spinx. He was looking incredibly consistent throughout that first stage of the major.
When he plays from home, he's playing on 70 ping nearly all the time. So the LAN boost that he gets in terms of just playing with 5 ping, it makes the game feel completely different. But one thing I want to highlight about Spinx's gameplay is how he's so good at finding the holes in opponents' defenses. It seems like no matter what is going on and around, if something doesn't work in the initial plan for ENCE, Spinx is there to come up with his own plan B. His contingency ideas are so powerful, and anytime you make one little mistake, whether it's a smoke, trading, spacing, doesn't matter, Spinx will take advantage because this dude doesn't miss.
He's so great as a player, and I almost feel like on a personal level and probably the community, we have to update the view that we have, the hierarchy that we have for rifles in the world. Because if I had mentioned names like Electronic, Nico, Bit, you'd say, oh yeah, they're much better than Spinx. By the numbers, he's one of the best players we have on LAN in 2022.
Yes.
His evolution, his development has been crazy with ENCE. We knew he was strong, but the fact that he was able to do it time after time, now he's on LAN, he has become a safe value. You ask me, is he going to show up? I want to say yes. I have no hesitation.
Maui, I want to ask you a question specifically, just about something we were chatting about concerning ENCE before we came into the challenger stage. You were saying, you know, you wanted to see Madden unlock a new level, D-Hart unlocking that new level as well in terms of that aggression and those opening picks. So can you kind of just give me a summary? Did they satiate your taste in that challenger stage?
I think D-Hart actually stepped up in a couple of the games I saw. Actually, Modern did too, but I still think that Modern puts himself in a box with this lineup that he didn't when he was playing with FPX and Godsend. He had a lot more autonomy on that lineup, and I think right now he's getting used to the slightly more rigid style that Snappy is throwing in his direction, and so I really still think he can be the X factor for this team, but for this lineup, he does have an objectively worse rating than he did when he was with FPX and Godsend. In fact, it's almost a 0.08 decrease in terms of where he was then, where he is now, maybe the level of competition increase, but I think it's also very much so due to the fact that he's limiting himself in terms of his options.
And if you're calling Madden an X factor in the sense that he can pop off at a time and disappear, I think Diha is the polar opposite. Diha is the pillar. He's the one you know is going to show up. He's the one you know what he's going to bring to the table. He might not be a name that you mentioned when we name stars or carriers, but if you are Snappy, it is so invaluable to have a player, the one we have on our screen, where you know what he's going to deliver. He's giving you insurances. He's giving you security, certainties about what's going to happen on the server, and that is something that matters a lot, fans.
I do really like just the wider context of this matchup as well. You kind of alluded to it earlier, Maniac, the fact that, you know, we've got 2 Danish IGLs, both on the older side of the scales, if that's not too rude of me to say.
Oh, you can say that, it's fine.
But just in terms of, you know, getting those young guns around them, and I feel like FaZe, they've achieved that. They've unlocked those LAN wins that Kerrigan was saying, you know, give me 6 months, give me another 6 months. They've managed to do that. And I feel like for ENCE, it's just going to be an interesting trajectory to see if they do end up following in the footsteps of FaZe.
It would be really cool to see that. I mean, already, they're both top 5 teams in the world. They're playing exceptionally well. And so to see that international rosters are starting to come together, I think we're in what I would pretty much say is the second generation of CSGO teams where you can just put together English-speaking rosters now, and people can thrive if the roles and the leading make sense.
The barrier has been pushed through. Now, I was just keeping my eyes on the veto, and there's a little bit of a surprise coming over. We were talking in the green room about what we expected from ENCE and the position they were in the map pool. They decided to remove both Overpass and Dust 2, privileging Mirage at the end. Given the chance between Dust 2 and Mirage, I thought ENCE would prefer Dust 2. I thought they would punish Kerrigan on that one, but we go to Mirage, which is, I mean, gentleman handshake, firm handshake, both teams can play it, but there might have been an opportunity here for ENCE to put FaZe in a bad position.
I'm a little bit concerned about this one for ENCE. I'm not actually sold on their A defense. I think that Diha, Madden, the way they try to connect at A, I actually think that that might be a vulnerability here. And if Kerrigan game plans the way that I would, then I can expect a lot of A hits coming out in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm just looking back at the last time these two teams faced up on this particular map at the EPL Grand Final. It was the one that ENCE lost out on the most handedly. It was a 16-9 scoreline. And Rops, Twist, they were kind of the names that we were looking at coming into this. Anybody else, or are they going to be the people you're keeping an eye on for the side of FaZe?
Well, once again, I'm gonna look at the entry fraggers, because I think that really, I think Kerrigan and Rain, when they're running at ENCE on a map like Mirage, like that A bomb site, I think they get a lot more mileage than they should, and it's up to ENCE to try to stop that. They need to actually find ways to stop these opening plays, because a lot of Kerrigan's hits are pretty explosive, they're pretty fast, and those kind of players there from Modern, from Diha, if they can't find any way to at least shut down those opener players, then it's just going to be lights out.
I think this might be why Hades actually, fared so well in some of these matchups, because of the rhythm, because of how quick the attack is coming over. Because as a sniper, if there is just a little bit of a gap in utility, that's when you strike, that's why you punish, and that's what he needs to do for his team.
Well, we're going to see exactly how it does play out. Mirage on the cards. For the first time, we'll be seeing FaZe here in Antwerp, and to guide us through it, it's Scrawny and Launders.
Yes, thank you guys. I'm ready for this one, man. Mirage and FaZe and ENCE.
And ENCE.
ENCE, obviously, coming in, looking to take down what has been the best team in 2022 so far. Victory in Katowice, victory at ESL Pro League, over ENCE specifically in that Grand Finals. But we've got Grand Finals games today. Just for a second, remember, opening matchups, right? These two teams, Finals of Pro League. We have G2 and Navi.
Yes.
Does that not have finals written all over? These are just opening games. The Counter-Strike is sick.
Yes.
And Mirage could also be phenomenal between these two lineups. Without further ado, it is Game 3 on the A stream. First day of the Legends stage. Legends being made. And ENCE to the T side, I think, should have their hands full.
This is the absolute best map to have this on. I think this is going to be extraordinary to watch. I'm so hyped for this right now. Let's go. FaZe ENCE in the opening match, and man, they both can win. So that means it's going to hurt extremely badly if they lose. Okay, pop up through connector on a set move into the window, putting tons of pressure up, but Rob stays alive inside of the palace. And a clip. Hades takes out Rain and CT spawn. This opens things up. They'll overtake this space, and Diha wins over Rops. Yeah. They don't plan.
Rops is big, but Kerrigan strikes, and the CTs follow suit. They've kind of fumbled this bomb, and Brokey, yeah, he's not going to give you a damn chance to breathe. Diha looking for the clutch in the 1v2. These CTs are very much in the open, and he shakes off.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Maniac's talking about. He's the guy. Stands tall. Big pressure situation, big pressure game, big delivery on the P250.
Yeah, what a pop-off. After Brokey put a laser pointer on the end of his USP and just starts executing everybody, I was like, all right, it's over. And Diha, he finds 4. No, that was from the stairs he got, Rops. They also had another player waiting on that tip of Apex for Rops to peek at the same time. I thought it was him. Clean, I want to say clean pistol. Good pistol. Inspiring pistol. A pistol off of the clutch.
A pistol where the individuals sure look good.
Yes.
The aim's looking clean.
Yes.
Them shots crisp. Double scouts, double deagles, solo CZ. And FaZe very much just playing the perimeters of the map.
Yeah. Slight overstack towards B, because again, this is where a lot of anti-eco rounds end up. Top con smoke is not going to be a lie this time.
Broken's got damage
forward, yeah, but single tag. Twist tries to be very patient with that deagle on the last try. Kerrigan will fall off and get damage. Oh my god, it's
Still
actually
alive.
rotating, yeah.
Picks up the scout, misses that one chance, lands it on Hades. Snappy gets cut off by Rain, and the individuals of FaZe are looking good enough, but it's the old boys as Kerrigan will be toppled. Rain's coming out from window, and Spinks keeps it clean.
Oh, I forgot Spinks was alive.
Ah,
Yeah, whenever Spinks is alive, then there's a huge chance that they'll win.
Dude, this guy's got a land buff.
Dude, Ice is just more comfortable. He'd just be owning on land. Spinks is a very special rifler. He has shown such high peaks already in a lot of their big games. He's still actually somewhat inconsistent, so not kind of as consistent as, say, like the core of FaZe between Rob's Twist and Brokey or anything like that. But he's doing it with a rifle. Kind of take Brokey out of that equivocation and just say, well, he at least goes huge when they need him. That was a good look in pre-fire right there, or pre-aim, I should say. Oh, they search this out, but Snappy still wins.
Body shots, but that's it.
Maybe less so in the last one because NIP just played so much better, even on the rifles. But definitely in that first game, that was a 16-11 match, and Heroic had won both pistols with conversions. It'll be meaningful for ENCE to start this well. Again, Deha 1v2 pistol rounds into 3 rounds straight off. And FaZe only got a touch of damage here. One player down who had a Mac 10.
Poor Rops sent packing by Madden.
So what was brought up about oh, it was the Challenger. G2 were challengers, right?
Yeah. Legends in spirit.
Legends and spirits. Provably legends now. Was that they call a ton of set plays out of spawn, and honestly, their T side got so wiry in that G2 game, trying to hit A over and over again. And ironically, all they did was make G2 better and more resilient at holding. And so I think that was a problem for ENCE, that they were a touch one-dimensional. They also tried to attempt way too many lurks, which was something that just also got more clear. FaZe will be an interesting matchup because they actually do quite a little bit of lurking on their T sides. And also have a handful of set stuff and faster plays. But there was not much love for the B site in the ENCE match. All about A. Quite quiet here in mid. Only Twist spotting it.
Kerrigan not entirely alone, but Twists won't be able to support him until they get to the windows. Flash, maybe.
Yeah.
Deha's left on his own.
ENCE actually have to be incredibly careful here. If they don't think that Kerrigan has pushed it all, they're running it back to A. First of all, this turns into a lurk. It might not look pretty. If they fall back too haphazardly, Kerrigan can follow them out. When I say them, I mean Deha. Now the exec is coming through.
Incendiary lands on ramp. Gonna slow that one down for a second. Spinks still looking for his route out through Palace. And again, the smoke. The grenades from FaZe.
Oh, they don't molly
Stopped
triple.
it only a second. Space given to Brokey. Spinks comes out. Immediate kill into Rain. Rops one and done. And that is ENCE exiting ramp, but Twists reclaims a little territory versus Deha. Throws an AK-47 into the window for Kerrigan, but they're gonna go ahead and are they leaving? No,
they're between two mines. Yeah, I don't know. Twist came back. Maybe he found a bit of utility, and there's one frag here for Finn. Kerrigan looking for a second. Last player on the ramp. Bomb is planted on the inside of default. It's solid for a ramp, but he'll have to come out a little bit.
Kerrigan, does he have it?
Oh,
no.
He tries the pre-fire. I think that was his best move, but ultimately Hades wins. And the A exec was pretty compelling. I mean, Brokey hit a great shot to kick things off, but he only got one. And his teammates didn't do much else.
Nice jump down into the underpass, killed the flank. At least that wasn't a problem. 2v2 towards site. Not meant for FaZe. ENCE win first rifle. Brokey, couple clean shots. The fact that Rain got deleted off of default by Spinks immediately.
saving the action in middle for the eco rounds. Just so far anyway. And look to want to maybe follow kills, leaving bomb. Stage back in T-spawn.
Spencer rewarded. Nice patience. Works out exactly how he wants. And ENCE going to play it slowly towards ramp again. So far, so good. Ooh, little barrel here, so Madden. Yeah. Sends a nade onto Kerrigan and kills him with a little bit of a wall bang. Easy does it, poor Kerrigan. Twists at the next to be toppled. Robs has got an answer. Right? We're looking for the fireworks. We're looking for the ferocity from FaZe, but they've been kind of muzzled with lesser weapons. All these rounds barring the last. So, quietly, ENCE have gone ahead and grabbed a 5th round. Did you put ENCE through to the next stage?
I didn't. I mean, they were on my short list, of course. There were just so many good teams. I think the one that I put in that maybe most people switched out for was Furia.
Okay.
So I have Furia making playoffs, but them and ENCE. And for me, again, ENCE comes down to basically their opper. The only real consideration versus other teams. And I mean, Hades is not a bad opper or anything like that, but in terms of the level of eliteness that a lot of the other offers are at this event, like even if we look at FaZe right now, by the end of this year, they're probably going to have 3 players in the top 10 in their core, which is actually unreal. So this level of talent standing out on top of the composition being perfect is really good. Now, ENCE are trending up at the right time. You know, in through challengers, they look solid. They can beat almost anybody. The Pro League finals in their rearview mirror. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to see, of course, that ENCE could absolutely make top 8 at this major. So they weren't completely out of consideration, but for me, it comes down to offers.
Second gun round underway, and Rob's already hanging out inside of the smokes. Just pelted by utility here, and ENCE will take top mid. Ooh, ENCE have a timing here, Madden. I believe he's been seen. Brokey concedes. Mid very much belongs to ENCE. And this B split's getting ready, but we do have a reposition here with Brokey and Twist silently switching spots, putting the AWP in the back of this site, looking to serve as the anchor for FaZe's B hold. But Brokey jumping up, gets spotted, he's scoped in. Just dies to the walkout. Twist is there for the quick recovery. Kerrigan comes in from the corner. There's still a chance here despite the man advantage being taken by ENCE. And Twists, well, he's still got Kerrigan taking players away from him. All good. Big play from Kerrigan, 2 on the M4, 1 off the USP. But when Brokey got caught sleeping on the van, that looked sketchy for a second.
There were so many players alive in the site that you could almost feel like everything's being covered. But Cat was just this wide open area that allowed them to come up. And again, I mean, ENCE, sometimes what they do is just walk in. They just walk in and turn in the corner on Cat. That's actually kind of hard to do because of all of the angles, even from connector. Brokey could rely on his 8 players to maybe spot you turn in the corner on Cat. So, but it was kind of a honeypot. There were too many more CTs there. All in comfortable positions as well. It's a little late action on mid as they try to jump down, but this is a counterplay to this, having Robson underpass, waiting for connector presence.
Oh, but he got by.
Yeah, they sneak it. And
this is not Robs, it's Snappy.
Did Brain see him? Yeah, he did.
Oh, but then Robs is there to trade it. Comes in from underground. Twist wins his fight towards mid, so now all that's left for ENCE is this walkout on A site.
Yeah.
Brokey looking for the contact. Spinks has already managed to get that cross. Oh, he wins that fight? That's such a narrow angle to play with the AK.
An unreal spray there. But Brokey looked like he didn't have armor, actually. Did he glass cannon? I'm not sure. Now the rotation's coming in all the way through spawn. Rops will swing it. It's a marathon for him.
Diha finds bomb plant. Coverage from the smoke. Twist spams through, nothing there. We've got this flank around from Robs, eventually coming in from Palace. Kerrigan gets softened up. Now him and Twists, both mid-30s, jump over towards Ticket. Suddenly makes things sketchy because Kerrigan is going to be in a crossfire. Spinks was watching Palace, was past tense. Kerrigan gets that other one, and Hades in the open falls. The 3v3 goes the way of FaZe. They win their second round.
Fortunate bit of timing there for Robs, actually. Spinks lined it up. After that, of course, he was in a tradable spot, but wow, I can't believe Diha jumped out the CT spawn that up. Still actually almost helped.
Would just be a misbuy if Brokey was glass cannon, because surely they saved his op from the last round.
Okay.
Everybody was over on that B site.
I'm only judging based on
the
his screen
punch,
shaking.
Right? Yeah. No, it
so
seemed intense.
not
I'm
exactly
right there
sure, but yeah, you could say. Brokey was looking for the fight in Palace, but he wasn't double scoped, and Spinks got into that angle nicely. So, a couple of close situations.
Yep.
Very close. Even the fact that Robs let Snappy get into connector and he ends up killing Rain. They don't call the timing because he's watching it 80% of the time. Turns away for a second. But it's by design. ENCE will play slowly. They will take all of these little gaps, and a lot of the times they're going to try not to waste utility when they do it. That's what'll keep you on your toes here on CT side.
4 smoke grenades over top from
the ramp. They're holding on to mid control and waiting for Twist to push off of Cat. They finally find it, but they don't punish him.
Kerrigan kills Snappy. That's the B lurk dealt with. Hades will be able to catch Rain pushing up. And Spinks still sitting inside mid. His team now needs him. Call to action onto A. And Twists. Oh, he could have a 1v1 towards middle while Bomb is
Duel into connector versus Spinks. That's a duel that Spinks will happily take, even if they run that back 10 times. This part looked a little strange. They were clearly just trying to get FaZe to make a mistake, and I think with the amount of pressure and where it was, they were looking for Twist, who is their first rotator to come off Cat, start clearing out mid, to be the one to push, but they don't take him out. So maybe there was. That's for sure. You don't often see those smokes anymore on A-side attacks. Madden trying to creep. Oh, he'll join the Cat.
Yeah, I like the timing here. I like
spotted,
the rush. Though. Twists is being covered, but not that much. Not with the smoke on the other end of it. He just gets gunned down by the MAC-10. He lands a shot, but doesn't get the kill. And B-side just crumbles under pressure. That was so fast, so suddenly.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, just Madden getting spotted, turned Twist around, and he was catatonic, like sitting there at Get Right, watching the flank the whole time. Meanwhile, Snappy's like, all right, well, I'm clearing out Get Right. I'm looking for you. And he does find him. So, really cool set piece here from ENCE. They win another clean one. There's still so much money over on the side of FaZe. They could shake their head at it, but it's not too big of a deal. Would have been one to break the economy in half on ENCE. Oh, insane.
Not only does he survive the op shot, but then he kills Brokey like that.
Right. Done well in the past. Let's see who wins.
Real off angle here. Spinks seemingly cautious. Rain locked into that one. So while ENCE continue out from the A ramp, it's just going to be Palace in the back of their minds. Middle seems clear, but this deep corner spot from Twists almost was the end of Madden. Brokey sees a player jump Ticket. Nice flick into Snappy's head. Pops him like a melon. Turns it over.
Jesus.
Kills Diha. Slips into connector smoke. Comes back at it from stairs. Brokey is everywhere. And while he does that, Twists ends this.
How does he even end up in that spot on the inside of that jungle smoke? I don't even know.
Dude, he's ethereal. Just cruising through those smokes.
Yeah. Watching Brokey blossom in these last couple of years has been just such a sight. I mean, the explosiveness from him is just ridiculous. And I mean, there's so much chaos right here, and it feels like he's the one orchestrating it. In reality, he's just a part of it, and he can just juggle a million decisions at once, make the right one, and hit the hard shot. That's what Brokey is all about. 4 rounds up now for ENCE, as they're throwing a lifeline. Twist gets his, a little bit of damage to the bottom connector as well. That slows down the attack. And ENCE do a good job of finding the opening kill, disabling Robs, winning mid, no refrag, then come back to an A attack, doesn't work out in the end. It can happen. 4 out of 5 rounds won here from FaZe in a row.
Looking to bottom out those banks.
Just like we saw in that previous attempt, yeah, money is low. Madden on just attack 9.
Little nervousness should start to set in for ENCE after a phenomenal start with the 5-0. It's not every day we get to see Kerrigan top the scoreboard. For now, that's where he is.
And more consistently, he is making like these once in a while.
He gets hit by Diha.
Well,
these headshots.
Diha's hitting.
Wow, that second one as he slides through twists, goes for a controlled burst and finds himself 3 kills. This round is Diha's.
Damn.
This round belongs to ENCE.
Yeah, that was monster mode from Diha. He kicked it into 6th gear for that. Ran over the site.
Wow, double deletion.
Beautiful openers.
Oh, poor Kerrigan. Oh, his form's been improving.
Can't say a thing.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. Props to Diha.
Controlled all the space. You couldn't even tell that ENCE were just about low right there, so they'll see one.
Risky business for Madden.
Yeah.
Tries to run away coverage, but how do they get back that bomb? He's... Him and Spinks just doing everything.
God damn. What? 4 kills for Spinks on those B entries. There was a million ways that FaZe could have won right there. If And yeah, it looks like ENCE are the favorites, basically, based on the rounds that we're seeing right now. So this is big stuff. Now, I'm not going to write off FaZe at this point. It's not like we saw in that Vitality NIP overpass game where it already looked like Vitality had lost at this point. FaZe are way too good at Mirage. And they also have the best T sides in the world right now. So
they will not be pleased.
That's coming up in the second half. But they will not be pleased.
A bit of revenge on this one.
The 0-1s are a nightmare because of these two
Or
teams.
comfortable.
Because of Navi, G2,
When these teams
you
met
do
in
not
the
wanna
ESL
end
Pro
up
League
going
Finals,
down
Mirage
into
was
that
a part of
0-1.
that best of 5. We had ENCE taking away 7 terrorist round wins. So a closer
There
half
are
than
no
what we've got
guarantees
here
for playoffs.
already.
There are
Marked
no
improvement.
logins. As much as someone might
And a
say
chance
that
to keep
FaZe
this
are
going.
favorite to win this major, you could only argue by a
Sure,
small
it'll feel
margin.
real good
This
if ENCE can,
organization
you
has
know,
never
it's
won a
not
major.
quite
This
a grand
roster
finals.
has started to come
Just
up
this best of
together.
one,
They
some
have
phase
wins
down
so
into
far
that
this
0-1
year.
pack. There's
Again,
a
the
little bit of
0-1s
revenge on this one.
The 0-1s are a nightmare because of these two teams, because of Navi, G2. You do not want to end up going down into that 0-1. And there are no guarantees for playoffs. There are no lock-ins. As much as someone might say that FaZe are a favorite to win this major, you could only argue by a small margin. This organization has never won a major. This roster has started to come up together. They have since that Navi war in the last major, where they ended up not dropping a series and won every tournament of the year before that.
Twists was spamming damage into them. Rops will be caught. Kerrigan. Ooh, guys, dude, we've already seen Spinks deliver from those windows, and I thought maybe, just maybe he'd do it again.
He doesn't need much health. To grab those frags. When the spot comes in, yeah.
You can still clutch this.
Próbuję immediately runs into the site.
Jumps onto the dumpster. Twists on the window is where this one ends. Twists, slow rotation, they play it patient. Madden gives them that last frag, so it is at least one more here for FaZe, and a final round of the half.
Yeah, 6. Honestly, 6 would be fine. I think we'd get. I'm looking for a 30-round game here. Yeah, that's what I want, like a really close match into the second half, and I think they'd be okay with 6. You could easily say just ENCE were better. They won here.
I love how Twist just taps through that box.
Could end up being more competitive. So off the last tech pause, we had FaZe come out with really aggressive mid control, and I think that was one exploitable weakness of ENCE, is that they do so many fast tactics into mid, jumping in connector or taking over cat control, that they leave underpass completely unbabysat, and like you have to have somebody go through upper B, walk underpass to join the mid attack, and that guy has to do a lot of walking because anybody on cat can hear him running. So in the early portions of the round, every time ENCE want to do something fast, we saw that G2 use this against ENCE, where they play inside of underpass to stop any kind of connector lurks. And right now,
so the jump spot continues on.
Make noise. Like, yeah. That would actually just get me to leave the site. Like, I would just literally go to the other side of that. But we got one under Bal kind of alone, actually. Very few support grenades here. They might not be able to afford the bomb to go down.
With that second and third and fourth Molotov, they burn Rain out of position. Próbuję will come through the smoke, finally, as the fire kept him at bay. Left Rain on his own. Diha, oh, the late lurk should catch Twist, but what if Twist gets into the mix before that flank arrives? Madden will be cleared off site. Rops has the kill, and sure enough, Diha will get it. So Rops in the 1 versus 3, looking for the 4K to give FaZe 6. Snappy taps at him, Spinks gets damaged, but the wallbang goes both ways. And ENCE with an excellent first half.
I don't know where the nades went on that one for FaZe coming off the last round win. They were completely out by the time the exec came in, and it's not advisable to play under Valk if you at least don't have a smoke, but also you kind of don't have a connection with Próbuję. If there's going to be some kind of A-site hit with full nades, like we've seen many times from ENCE, then Próbuję and Rain cannot help each other at all. Like, look, right side smokes come out, which are even more common than CT smoke, and there's no way for Próbuję to do anything except for walk in through the smoke and take too long to kill somebody and can't get out.
And even then didn't want to, didn't get other Molotov. Think about that round where he's got his op and he's just inside of those smokes. So much more space to work then.
So
compared to that,
and no support flashes for him either. So maybe FaZe are happy for that half to have ended. Now ENCE moving to half number 2. Start off on CT. Got to be smiling ear to ear.
The upset potential this morning for the first day of Legends has been real. But we've got FaZe on a T side, looking to set the pace themselves. Spinks dives into the bench. He's got a fight with Twist over top, loses his first rotate, and it's a 5v3 out of FaZe immediately on this B site.
Yeah, they got swarmed. Single smoke over on Get Right. Stop any kind of cap pressure, but the CTs were playing within smokes.
They kept it simple, they kept it clean. And while Rain will fall to Madden, Twist's right there for the trade frag. So Twist taking his spot at the top of the board here, both him and Próbuję.
Hades keeps killing a guy in the back.
How's he do it?
So good at that.
Gets stuck on the door frame, will be hunted down like a hound. Rops with the 2K close.
Yeah, I thought they did the hunting. What do hounds hunt?
Foxes?
Foxes?
Yeah, I think.
Damn. Are foxes cats?
No.
Okay. I used to think cats were girls. I used to think cats were girls when I was a kid. All right. More at 6. 29 for. Why is how does he just do that all the time?
I don't know.
Just always 29.
And I just figured like, oh, once they get to the legend stage, maybe it cools off.
Yeah.
But Spix is making one hell of an argument for himself.
Absolutely.
Strong argument for ENCE. Strong argument for ENCE. Double scout, triple deegs. Oh, D-hug. Good thing he's snappy deep in B.
Interesting.
No cat presence here for the counter-terrorists.
Yeah. They've been coaxed into a bad decision. And no eyes on mid, playing totally blind. But Snappy's pushed up, so he'll be the early...
How? Oh. Ah!
Yeah. Okay.
Low HP. That much we know. Low HP for what's left of ENCE and not looking like any real attempt at an exit.
Yeah, Brokey's like in a scary spot, but he actually doesn't have to move. And the CTs, well, can they get both of them? Oh, they can't. Wow. What a shot.
You take it. Doesn't come with enough time for the defuse, but you take what you can get. That's damage, baby.
That'll be Brokey. Oh, Brokey's pickup's already screwed. He put NIP 303.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's funny. He probably locked in something else, though, didn't he?
You never know, man. You can't trust the internet.
You can't trust Brokey, especially. He's too tricky at CS.
You know, I feel like the pick'em culture has become one of deceit and deception.
Yes. Yes, and malice.
I know who to blame.
And malice. Absolutely. People are not bringing their best intentions to these pick'ems.
Used to be honorable.
Yes. All right.
Quick one.
Quick to be. Very quick.
Jumping out the window. Flash goes first. Rain goes beyond. Insta-kill from Spinks. Dodges the flash easily. Snappy's MP9 from bench. Good. Oh, and then another dink on the follow-up. Tons of damage being done by the SMG. So much so that Diha's Deeg sweeps away Twists. Rops wants to attack from Cat. Can they bring this back? 2 versus 4, very little health, and the bomb will hit the deck.
Yeah, that's the chance right there.
That's an 11th for ENCE and a CT side that starts early.
Yeah, very much so.
Poor Robs, man. If he had more HP, then maybe, but he's lost the element of surprise, and Hades locks in that final kill.
It was interesting pathing. I mean, they couldn't jump out of the window because they smoked it, so going out van side, I think just fed really well into ENCE's spots in the way that they were holding. And when you take out the first guy on the B attack, if you're playing off spawns, then sometimes the spacing can get very hard, and you'll end up getting glued into positions in halls, trying to fight out of the windows, which is not what you want. You really just want to get out of the door, out to van, and get control as fast as possible. Shut down right away. ENCE are staring 12 in the face. Exec coming out towards A. Nobody's here to stop it, except matted over in CT spawn.
Ooh, yes,
wow.
Hades.
He keeps killing the guy in the back.
Bro. That one was clean. Racking up the easy frags. I'm going to give a little space here to Rops. Able to exit at the very least, but poor Twists finds himself alone. Tech9 not meant for this one. Only that one kill from Twists. Barring that, it is ENCE's round. Easy for ENCE, they say.
All they do is flash through the jungle smoke and have one rifler peek in. Madden throws his lurk smoke into the site to take an extra peek. And with all that defense in mind, bomb cannot be planted. Well, not only are they staying 12 in the face, wow, they're staring potentially 13. Absolutely nothing here for FaZe to work with. Will the ENCE 3-0 prophecy be foretold? This was such a hard first round that I think this is where the trepidation comes in when you think about their chances, even though overall they, of course, have proven some good stuff versus some of the other teams at the stage.
Yeah, this one would send vibrations through the legend stage. A ripple through reality. this is going to be a long comeback for FaZe.
Yeah.
No matter what.
It's
if they don't just lose.
Of course, they could easily. There's actually no reason to not believe in ENCE right now. In the end of the second half, there's no luck about the way they've won. Look pretty solid. Just comes down to if FaZe are ready to grind. Of course, they have the ability to make this comeback occur. Got nothing else to do today. They've been here before. They've had to stage a lot of comebacks. But it is their first day in these chairs.
That's the thing, right?
We've had ENCE do an entire stage already. They've got the butt outlines inside of the chairs.
Smokes at the top of mid. Snappy not going to put his head on that shelf.
What is this smoke?
I don't know.
They re-smoked the one way. Snappy kind of lines up the top nade, top mid box nade. Maybe he thinks it's just missed a window. Throws it a bit shy. Lurky and FaZe secure ladder room control.
Rain's being utilized for it.
There's somebody in window, but where are they tucked? Okay.
Straight under. Diha gives good cover. Rain the first casualty. Kerrigan connects.
They know another one's jungle. One spotted CT.
And should be
still
low.
alive.
Oh, Robs through smoke.
But will they forget about Spinks?
That's the big one, and you can't forget about Spinks. He's looking up, gets cleared. Robs comes in with the multi-kill, head on a swivel as FaZe surround that A site and squeeze.
That became 4v5, but positionally, they had a big edge. They had jungle, they had ladder room, they spotted 2 window side, they had the trade in mid, and then the warning system as Rob starts to put pepper some bullets in through that jungle smoke. And Spinks was the other out, but they kept a good inventory of who was alive and made sure to clear it. Still having a great game overall. Still managed to get a kill somehow in that spot. But FaZe secure 8 and it looks pretty solid.
Same smoke here in mid.
Yeah. One interesting way to stop any of the pressure down mid.
The nade is just on point.
Wait, is this smoke thrown from the T side or the CT side?
The one at the top that's T side smoke.
Oh, okay.
And then Rain has twice now just kind of looked over top of it. He's met by a frag. Dihud's gonna tuck into the cover. He's got Madden to help him from jungle. Oh, and another towards Cat. Dihud gets that headshot into Kerrigan as he dies. And he was never getting out of there alive. So for him to take one with him, props.
Look at the pressure mounting on Madden. He's on the inside of the smoke, top of connector. One in CT to support from the CT side.
Rain versus Madden up close.
Oh, there's
good
the duel.
trade.
Oh,
Good
I don't
trade.
know if I'd rather be FaZe still. Yeah,
It's
Hades.
Rob's dead. Hades burned off of Ticket, comes back, misses his shot, but honestly, he could be dead by now if Rain wasn't blinded. And then they throw Brokey into Firebox. Another flash meant to set up Rain, but the op comes in with at least that one. And nobody else to peek from Ticket for the CT side. A very critical 2 versus 2. You've got Twists and Brokey, star-studded players for FaZe against Snappy and Spinks, the challenger, but Twists unable to get his kill, and so Brokey now falls down into the clutch, and he's drawn between 2 directions. Spinks, cookie cutter clean, ENCE 14.
Yeah, they're 14 now. They're standing. They're near the top of the mountain. They're near in the pinnacle. They have to be feeling great. Floating in those spots in the post plant, hoping for the kills to come to them, and not ready really for those plays.
And that's
it gets a bit
individual
awkward,
level.
but I was thinking that FaZe, in all of those trades, had the better trade. Like, Madden kills a Palace guy, but if he killed the guy coming out of connector, that would have been scarier. And then that trade goes down. And then Hades, he gets away with 1, but they get CT control with his refrag. Or he gets 2, actually. He gets 2.
No, the whole round, you know, there's a question until it's just the 2 versus 2.
Yeah.
And at that point, Twist, he could have won his duel. Brokey, he could have killed the guy CT and clutched. Missed op shot, missed AK spray, and no missed chance from ENCE with Diha setting them up. Madden supported for the double spray. A 5 versus 3 to lock in 15. And Diha comes in not only with flash assists, but frags through smoke as Twist is toppled. Spinks and Diha lock it in. And now we're talking match points. We're talking upsets from ENCE over FaZe. The #1 in the world could be 0-1 in Legends.
Absolutely. Looks like it's going to happen. That tactic was perfectly executed. Madden, you could see the conviction. Even though he gets mollied off of stairs in the first peak, he's running back in and catches this with the flash from Diha over top of, over from mid. I don't know if he threw that from spawn or not, but that's all they needed. They just knew exactly where the routing would be on this kind of set play. You could see
chances. 7 match points, and they only need 1. Brokey will be tagged down to 73. That single Galil, that single ramp entry, the bomb carrier to boot. He's got Madden locked into what could be the 1v1 if Diha continues to be distracted by mid. Utility at the bottom of connector. Brokey's just waiting for the peak to come over. Diha will be turned away, burned back. Oh, but even that dink's not enough.
Oh, Jesus.
And now this one's done, dude.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. ENCE, they strike first blood. A little bit of sweet revenge. Just a delicate taste. It's not a best-of-5 finals, but it's an opening message that the challengers have come to play.
Yeah, they really have. They could be in control of their fate now. I mean, with a win like this, they send FaZe down to lowers to devour somebody else. There are some big fish that might get knocked down, and even if they were the team to go down, it would have been equally as scary. So, FaZe start 0-1 here in Legends, a team that many people believe can, of course, win this major and are #1 in the world right now. But Legend stage can be as hard as some of these playoff matches for a lot of the teams here. You know, it's 8 of them that will be the ones, and one of them to win the major. And no one's fate is sealed. No one's fate is guaranteed.
Nothing is secured. There are no promises here, just promising looks for ENCE. That one, I like it. A week of warm-up, essentially, is what moves ENCE into this first fight, and they take it to FaZe. You know, no chance. You got to hit the ground running if you're coming in as Legends. And now, again, think our next match, G2 Na'Vi, another team there that's going to be 0-1. So either G2 Na'Vi plus FaZe. I don't want to lose a map today. This is a horrifying position for a lot of teams, but it's what we all signed up for. We'll hand this one back to the desk so they can break it down.
That challenger state momentum continuing for the side of ENCE. They managed to take down their nemesis in FaZe, and the world #1s now 0-1 here at the major. I just want to echo the sentiments of Scrawny and Lorna's there. We don't know exactly what's going to go down today, but you do not want to be in that 0-1 bracket.
No, and we talked about it. We talked about the teams that are acclimated to the conditions here, the teams that have had this warm-up, this very fought-through challenger stage. FaZe came in cold. They came in sloppy. We're going to talk about it. It's a few rounds absolutely misplayed for a team of that caliber, and we have to give it to ENCE. Any opportunity they had, they took it.
I said before this that FaZe, they're the favorites of this major, but they're by no means a shoo-in to win it all. This is a prime example of such. ENCE played a fantastic game. We wanted to see more from Madden. We wanted to see more from Hades, who we'll touch on more later as well. But really, this was such a great performance from ENCE. Those explosive plays that Snappy was coming out with towards that B site in particular, excellent stuff. This is why ENCE are a force. This is why people are scared of them, because it always feels like their game plans are incredibly well thought out.
Yeah, let's talk about that T-side to start off with. ENCE, obviously, you've already mentioned something that you thought was really dominant from them. But what about you, Maniac? What really impressed you about the kind of aggressive looks from ENCE in this one?
Well, first of all, I think Spinks delivered exactly what we were hoping for. And he's always going to be a man every single event from now on that we put the pressure on, we put the spotlight on, and he delivered big time. Now, what this replay right here also shows us, it's the mistakes that I was talking about on the side of FaZe. I feel like on a few of these rounds, FaZe actually got the favorable trade early on, but ENCE were so good at reclaiming control. Here is a good example as well. Spinks, beautiful on the multi-kill, great, clever little angle to cover the bomb plant. At times, FaZe had the way into the round, but ENCE just took it, pulled the rug from them.
This is exactly what imitates ENCE's and Spinks' performance when they played against G2. Sometimes G2 would find the opener. Sometimes it looks like they'd have a good hold, but Spinks is always there to bring the round back. That's why he is such a scary force, especially in the mid-round. He is so good at finding and punishing any little weakness that the opposing team has or throws against him. And FaZe, yeah, like that replay showed, they made a lot of little mistakes. They They do these things where they trust their aim. They play sometimes off angles as opposed to tucking. They sometimes don't let the crossfires get activated. And when you're playing against some players maybe that aren't as good as you, it's fine. But when you're playing against a guy like Spinks, he'll rip your head right off.
And I think that's a first game syndrome, what we just talked about. I think if we replay this game in 3 days at a 2-2 matchup, I wouldn't see FaZe just misplay these bomb plant situations. It felt like they were in a moment, they were looking for their aim, they were looking for the comfort zone, you could say.
Raz, dwa, raz. Okej.
Let's roll.
ENCE wygrało. ENCE wygrało. Ale pulpit zarąbany miałem. Co mam taki ping 60? Zawsze lepszy niż ten, co ma 800. Nie wiem, mierzysz w głowę tym diglem, a nigdy nie wpada. Tak,
Hello, guys.
Hello?
Let's go run.
Okay.
It is time now, my brothers. Planted. Bomb has been planted.
Watch window yellow. Side.
Fucking shit, jeden, drugi, trzeci, czwarty, piąty, nie mogłem go zabić. What the hell? Trochę ta kamerka chyba za dużo, co? Czat wchodzi na kamerkę.
Hello, guys. Buy smoke, so you're going outside.
Too late, man, too late.
Forward. Flashbang. Throw in smoke. Smoke. I'm throwing a grenade.
No, powiem, że nie do końca ten smoke się tam udał, no.
Activating the bomb. Planting B. Bomb has been planted. Vent. Double or chat out. Double door. Window, window. Terrorists win.
No 5 mi weszło tych typowań. Jeden token wpadł. A z tych... No obstawiłem, że ENCE będzie 3-0. Wygra, 3 mecze wygra, nie trafiłem, no i te IHC, że 3 mecze przegra, też nie trafiłem. W ogóle, no to, że Astralis się nie dostało, nie, to mnie bardzo zdziwiło.
I'm throwing a flashbang.
O fuck, kurwa, jak ja go mogłem nie zabić? Przecież strzelałem mu w głowę. Second low.
I'm also slow.
Fair.
I haven't.
Ci mówię, że jest low, to jest low, nie pytaj się ile, kurwa, bo ci to niepotrzebne. Po co ja to kupiłem?
Move it, move it. Smoke. Smoke.
Kurwa, gdzie mi tu wleciałeś?
One is T-spawn.
Chcesz mu tam
Watch
trochę
out,
tym
they're coming to lobby.
ogniem... Watch back, purple.
T-spawn, speed spawn outside.
Nice.
Last load HP.
Going. Watch out.
Very nice. Very nice, mój przyjacielu. Woda. W sobotę się pije wodę niegazowaną. A nie tam jakieś browary, wody, wina, drinki. Nie no, żartuję. Mam się napił browary. Ale niestety nie piję od 12 lat ponad alkoholu. Bo nie mogę. What ty? Gdzie ty mi tu skracasz, chłopie? To kurwa ma wyjść. Ole se. Wyszłem. Nieładnie. Idziecie na B? Dobra, to ja tu popilnuję. Nie strasz. O Boże! Co to było? Widzieliście to? Znam. To było głupie z mojej strony. Jedno i drugie.
Be clear.
Stay clear.
You're B. Come at B.
Nie, no nie mogę się tak bawić. One heaven.
Nice.
Za bardzo się bawiłem, nie? Już tak jak tego nie mogłem na tym kurniku zabić, to już postanowiłem, że wiecie, że niby się bawię, dlatego nie trafiam, nie że jestem cienki. Stara szkoła oszustów. Takie numery. Jeśli jeszcze nie mówiłem, to mówię, żebyście, jak chcecie, oczywiście zostawili lajka pod streamem. Z eventami będzie chyba. Nie. W kurniku są. Schowali, ty. Taka. Był pani, a tam ich 3 jest to. Ale wielkie opóźnienie ma stream. Ale mnie zeskanował, no daj spokój. No ten go nie mógł z góry zabić. To nie w sumie błądu. Ale to dupę daliśmy. No on mnie widział w ogóle tam, czy tak na chybił trafił strzelał? Chyba mnie widział. Gdzieś tam wystawiłem kawałek łokcia. Dobra, bo się robi niebezpiecznie. 4-0 na 4-3. Nie, no nie idźmy tym dworem, bo to nie wychodzi, no. Po co tam tędy chodzić? Pamiętajcie, coś nie wychodzi, to po co to robić?
Nine.
Let's go. Throwing a grenade.
Silo one. Outside.
Co?
Outside one.
Gdzie on był? Pa. O, fuck. Złe info.
Let's go. Decoy. Grenade. Flashbang.
It's B.
Walka o karabin.
Go. Throwing smoke.
Oho. Kurde, zawsze spada. No, cholera.
Street.
Flashbang.
Last one.
O, tu jest. Łoś. Gdzie on poszedł? Na dół.
Hey, hey, guys, hey. He's planting A, come on.
Defusing the bomb.
Come on! Jest krótki czy długi? Krótki.
Lock and load. Smoke. Molotov. Grenade out.
Outside guy. Bomb down.
Ale mi dawał heada. Czy mi nie dawał heada? GG, thank you for game.
GG.
Podpalaczem był. Okej. Teraz pikemy ustawiłem mianowicie kurde i zawieszka i tego internetu jak zawsze. Ojejku. Zawsze zapominam, żeby nie wchodzić od razu po meczu z powrotem w mecz, bo tu się coś kurde dzieje niedobrego. A te opóźnienie na streamie to już naprawdę jest chyba 50 sekund. Tak mi się wydaje. O, wytypowałem, że FaZe Clan wejdzie bez żadnej porażki, a już przegrał z ENCE, nie? To mógłbym ENCE znowu dać. Liquid dałem, że odpadnie z 3 porażkami. Cloud9 wygrał. Vitality przegrało. Heroic chyba jeszcze nie grało. ENCE wygrało, G2 nie grało. Ninja, Ninja wygrały. No i Navi jeszcze nie grał. Czyli też tak na styku będzie chyba tymi pick-upami. No widzicie co tu się dzieje. FaZe nie wygrywa z ENCE. Astralis odpada, nie wchodzi w ogóle. Vitality przegrywa z Nipem. Takie jakbyś miał obstawiać to albo byś dużo zarobił, albo byś stracił. Takie te wyniki nieprzewidywalne. Teraz się okaże, że ci Kondor i są Kazachowie? But New Girls. Że oni kurde dostaną się do ćwierćfinału. To będzie dopiero na nich kurs. Teraz jak się gra, to jeszcze jest ok, bo masz ludzi z Polski, z innych państw, ale jak grasz wieczorem, cały serwer Rusków. Wszyscy, no od 12 w nocy do wieczora, same ruskie, no i czasami trafisz jakiegoś Amerykańca, jak gra na tych serwerach, ale... Tak, to jest masakra, nie? To normalnie same ruskie, aż chyba zrobię jakiś odcinek o tym, jak się z ruskimi gra. No 80% meczów z ruskimi jest przegrany. Nie słuchają się, obrażają. Już nie wspomnę, że nie umieją po angielsku gadać. No co jest, kurwa? Nie mogłem mu heada sprzedać. Na mapę się zapatrzałem, ja pierniczę. No, wracając do tych Rusków, to tak jest. Obrażają się, wychodzą z meczu. W wyzywaniu to oni są najlepsi. On ci kurwa gada, on ci powie, że on nie będzie po angielsku gadał, fuck Ameryka i tak dalej. Ale kurwa nikt ma po angielsku, nie? Dzięki. What the fuck? O co się tam... Ten w dzwon celuje, a ten... O, to ładna drużyna widzę, tam po tej drugiej stronie jest. Ten se wychodzi i w dzwon celuje, nie? Nice team, nice team. Aj, dobry resp. Pójdziemy na mida. No kurde, wygrywamy, a oni negewy biorą shotguny. No i gdzie ty mi z tym negewem biegniesz, chłopie? No weź mnie tu, nie blokuj.
You fucking idiot!
Co tu się kurwa tak unosi?
Mid.
Trzymaj ten domoki, trzymaj. Kto go zajebał?
Minus 82, ENCE, going B. HP. Co się stało? Nie wyszedł? Zasejwował? No nie ma jeszcze, ale zaraz będzie. Tomek, muszę się postarać z tymi killami. A coś mi się wydaje, że tutaj można zdobyć ich sporo. Oj, kurwa, myślałem, że zdążę przebiec. No i powiedz. Mówię parę sekund wcześniej, że muszę zdobywać killa, bo tu się da, a i tak biegnę jak głupek się zabić, nie? No i tak ze mną jest. Tak właśnie gram. To i tak o dziwo na streamie jakoś lepiej gram niż zawsze. Zawsze to mi wychodzą mecze jak nie ma streama. No raczej chyba na B już nie będą przeszli. Panie pomarańczowy. Mister Pomarańcz, go A. Mister Mandarynka Najman. A dzisiaj fame leci. Ciekawe, czy ktoś będzie na Discordzie to puszczał. Młody miał puszczać na Discordzie, Szymek. Nielegalną transmisję zrobić. O, chłopie, jeszcze to ugrasz. Jak masz defuza. Nie, zeskoczył z balkonu. Wiesza WP. Drop. Kurwa, drop. Zobaczył, że podnieśli AWP, już drop. No, lepiej. Dostał czy nie dostał? Teraz dostał na pewno. Aj, był tam cały czas. No, on nie ma AWP, a ja się tam przejmuję. No dostał, jak nie dostał w łeb? No muszę powtórkę zobaczyć. To było w łeb. Już naciskałem. No jak on nie dostał? Tamten dostał, bo dostałem asystę, ale ten drugi, no przecież to mu poszło w łeb, chyba gdzieś milimetry skręciły koło lewego ucha. A ten z Negevem, my god. On na uproszczony gra. Przecież nie gra się z Negevem, no kurde, zanim to wyciągniesz, zanim zaczniesz strzelać, zanim to przecież to takie opóźnione jest. No. Widział ktoś kiedyś kogoś na majorze, kurwa, z Negevem? Masz swojego dropa. Ciasteczkowy potwór napisał mu nice. Co w tym nice było? O, chciałbyś miłe. A spróbowałbyś nie ugrać, to byś napisał, kurwa, fucking idiot. Dziękuję. Nie, ale ciała. Dalej mam jednego killa. Co ja robię w tym meczu? Powinni mnie wypieprzyć. Ten... to orange. Ej, wuj panie, tam 4 jest. Albo daj się zabić. Nie będę czekał do tyle. Idź, Klaszer. Ja bym robił klacz. Ale go tam z okienka ściągnął. Snajper. Ukraiński. Teraz patrzcie, co się będzie działo na diglu. Ten niebieski taki szalony jak ja widzę, też wybiega. W gorącej wodzie kąpany.
Throwing fire. Decoy.
No nie wychodzą tędy.
Minus 34.
Shortem pójdzie?
Laying down smoke. Deploying flashbang.
Co oni sejwują? Bym wiedział, to bym biegał i broni szukał. Jak ktoś chce przerwę, no to potrzebna mu, a nie tak, że sobie jaja robi. No czemu mnie wcisnęliście? No może mu się sikać chce, albo kurier przyjechał, albo coś. A pamiętajcie, że nie dając przerwy ziomkowi, tak jakby narażacie się na to, że możecie grać we 4, bo jeżeli to jakaś pilna sprawa, to odejdzie od kompa. Gdzie tu we mnie strzelasz? No ładnie, mam 17. A bomba już tam. On był za mną. Where are we going?
Take bomb, take bomb.
A ten poszedł na przerwę chyba. Watch one back. Jaki spust. Pobiegli wszyscy na ten. A jednak biegnie. Very cool gamer. Taki cool, że aż poszedł. No tak się nie robi, jak się już pisze FK i się później zaczyna grać, no. Drugi, bo myślałem, że chyba wołam tego drugiego. Co za psy. Co chwilę sobie powtarzam, nie raszuj, zagraj z głową. I co chwilę zapominam. Tę kartkę na monitorze napiszę. Nie raszować.
Banana, banana,
Bo
banana.
nic z tego nie wychodzi. I golda nigdy nie będzie. I statystyki się psują, i wszystko się psuje, i live się psuje, i widownia się psuje na live'ie, i donate'ów nikt nie będzie dawał. Sikać mi się tak chce. Okropnie, że chyba do butelki wysikam. W ogóle dam coś chłodno, muszę bluzę założyć. Od razu ci Luna mówi, że jest zajebiście opóźnienie. Bo było trochę pauz, jak leciał mecz ENCE. ENCE versus FaZe wygrany przez ENCE. Dosyć spokojnie, bo chyba do 10. Do 11. Czyli trzecia drużyna rankingu HLTV wygrała z pierwszą. Comeback nam się tu szykuje. A jeden typ od nich odszedł. Jeden typ od nich odszedł i oni jeszcze wygrali? I jeszcze dwóch ich zostało? To przez moje rasze. Tak, nie może być. Jakieś słowo tak się wiewa moje usta.
Let's go. Throw in smoke.
Na luziku, bez raszu. Pójdziemy, sprawdzimy plecy. Ten jak zwykle, jak nie żółty kurwa to ten. To pomarańczowy teraz nie gra. Ten z pompą biega, dobra, idę na B. Pamiętajcie, że oni grają we 4, także może tu nikogo nie być.
I am planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted.
City. Ano. Last 8 in the street. Nice.
Ja po prostu mi to. To jest mój karabin. O, już 6 killi. Odrazowałem się tą rundą. Tu chyba 3 zdobyłem, nie? 3, no 3. Po co tam dym rzucasz, chłopie? Jaki chuj tam dym rzucasz? Ojejku. Dobra, nie będzie comebacku. Cztery osoby na czacie razem ze mną. Byli Shogun, ja i Luna.
Move it, move it! Throwing a flashbang! I'm throwing smoke! On go! Grenade!
Mogłem go skosować, nie?
Smoke! I'm throwing smoke! I'm setting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Grenade! I am throwing a grenade!
Skręcałem w prawo, tam już ściana była, nie mogłem się schować, myślałem, że się schowam. Ale dupa. Niepotrzebne to było. Co tam ja jakiś kurwa negewem stoję? Ja negewem grałem. Nie ma znowu rangi, ale coś dostałem. Szynkę klacz! Nie, motherfucker! Gdzie ona jest? Neonor. AWP Mortis. Miałem dzisiaj na G4 skins za dzienne otwarcie skrzynki. Kosztowała 10 zł, ale ją sprzedałem i otworzyłem skrzynkę za 9 i nic nie trafiło. Dobra, idę się wysikać.